mama watching me play guitar. She got long black hair and she's smoking on a fat cigar.
All right, that was Jeff Pitchell's Fat Cigar you were listening to, and that means it's time for Not Just Blowing Smoke, my friends. Coming at you live from Twin Smoke Shop Studio headquarters in Londonderry, New Hampshire, right from the 724 Lounge. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube. If you're listening after the fact on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Pandora, Spotify, well, I already said that. We're everywhere.
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
iCast.
Yeah,
Ecast,
Podbean.
Yellcast.
Doesn't matter. We're pretty much everywhere. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down there so that you don't ever miss a thing. I'm Pastor Padron, and I'm here with all of my co-hosts tonight, Pat and Nick and Dave. Almost forgot. Yeah.
Like, Nick.
Nick O'Teen.
That's right.
And tonight we are starting off the show smoking this, the Crux of the Epicure Habano Toro. This is a new addition to their Epicure line. The cigars just came out, and it features a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper and Nicaraguan binder and filler. It's a 6x52, and we're going to be pairing it with this.
What is that?
This is the 724 Barrel Select of Herradura Tequila.
Oh. Make sure you hold it by the stem, Danny. You gotta hold it by the stem.
Oh, I have to be like Kurt.
You gotta hold it by the stem,
Hold it by the stem.
and then you make sure that you give it the nose.
Oh, it's so good.
It smells like gold.
You know, I think we've all had that cheap tequila. We don't really have to say what its name is. This is not
Jose
that.
Cuervo?
This, yeah, that. I said we didn't have to say that.
Oh well.
But-
It is cheap, man.
Yeah,
It is-
this is not the high school tequila.
No.
This is not
No.
the college tequila. This is
Professional.
tequila.
This is professional tequila.
Tequila. Professional.
It's very, very tasty.
It's the one that they made the song for.
Tequila.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. It's a good jam. The first time I ever heard that song was the movie Sandlot.
Yeah.
When they're going around in that friggin' thing, and they took a big thing of dip. And they're like, yeah, all the pros do it. And then they're like halfway through, and you see they're all turning green, and they all start throwing up over the ride. Oh my God, that was great.
That was a
Been
great
there,
movie.
done that.
Oh my God, such a great movie, man.
Have you seen Sandlot?
Yes, I have seen Sandlot. And I also tried chewing tobacco when I was young, and it was a horrible
I've never
experience.
been able to do chewing tobacco.
I've never done chewing tobacco because of that movie.
Yeah.
I've
I
done
never
it
did it.
again since and was able to get used to it. But then I only did it for like a few months, and I'm like, why do I want to look like one of those dudes? I'm like, I'm all set.
I mean, that was the thing back then. I mean, I played Little League and stuff like that, and that was like, you know, obviously I wasn't old enough to
It's hard to
do
get
that,
a date
but
when you're spitting into a bottle. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
It's,
I've played with a lot of football players that do that. I remember when this guy Z, I played with him. He would play a full game with dip in his mouth.
A full game.
A full football game, and he'd be spitting. I'm like, you got a dip in? He's like, yeah, I gotta do it. I'm like, okay. More power to you, baby.
golfers put friggin' tobacco between their toes. You get nicotine. Yeah.
That's disturbing.
Yes.
My goodness.
Pat, you look cold.
Yeah,
Colder than usual.
it's a little brisk.
A little brisk.
Little brisk.
Finally get the AC fixed and you're wearing a hoodie. This is beautiful. Oh,
I mean, it is nice up here. I mean, it's better than it is outside. I mean, the sun went in, and now it was raining like 5 minutes ago, and the humidity just came in and swooped in like Superman trying to save Lois.
And he stayed.
So, Pat, you got to go with
Yes.
the man.
Tell us
To
all about
PCA.
it, brother.
We
The
want to
cigar garden,
grill
no.
you, man. We want to find out all about the PCA from you,
Tell us.
from your point of view. First time tobacconist, lawyer,
Esquires.
NJBS podcast extraordinaire personality. What did you think of the PCA? Is it all it's hyped up to be?
Yeah.
You've turned into Kurt. You're just nodding your head and not saying nothing.
You know.
Come on, Pat. Tell us, what was it like? How was the atmosphere? Were you able to smoke inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You could smoke in like a lot of the areas there.
Did you
Yeah.
gamble?
No, I didn't gamble when I was there. I mean, it's kind of how you would think it would be. I mean, everyone's, like everyone in the industry is there. So
Was it like Comic-Con for cigars?
yeah, I mean, like the first night, we did a lot of setup during the day, and then it was like this casino at the Venetian, and there's a little bar in the middle of the casino, and you're allowed to smoke in that area. Well, you can smoke in the casinos, so that's kind of where the industry goes at the end of the night. So I guess my perspective, it was kind of cool because, like, I got there with Kurt a little early, and then we were, just sitting there having a cigar and everything, having a tequila, and then you just kind of start seeing people walk in. So I saw like this white hat popping up in the crowd, and it was Lito Gomez, and then his son was there, and then you just look out in the distance, you just see Pete Johnson just hanging out, like, it was cool. You just see all these people come in.
Did you get starstruck at all?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go up to anyone like, oh my god, but
Other than Carlito?
no, I wasn't even like that with him.
Ah.
Yeah, it was really.
Stop, bro.
Did you? I shuffled up to Carlito on my knees like I should.
I can see Pat doing the whole Wayne's World, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
Yeah, so it was cool seeing everyone there. Definitely.
Who was most impressive to you to see? Who were you most glad that you saw or met?
It's a tough one.
My wife's aunt.
I actually never saw her. She wasn't there the day that we went to that booth.
All right.
Honestly, there's really no one specific. Oh, you know what? Drew Newman. I'll say Drew Newman. And going into it, I would have said. I mean, it was a pleasure to meet everyone. So it's not like one person was better than another. But Drew Newman was a very genuine, down to earth guy, and he's just a genuine guy.
Cool.
Like I was talking, cause he has a background in being a lawyer and then going into the cigar industry, and obviously he's from the Newman family.
Yeah.
So, it's fine. And then like Charlie from Half Wheel, like he said, JC Newman made like a Lego set that they're selling at their gift shops. So they were doing a segment on Half Wheel with it. Then Charlie must have dropped the thing and it broke. So like day 2 of the show, Drew was sitting on the chairs and he was, one hand with the instructions, the other one trying to build a thing. So I walked over and I mean, it looked kind of fun, that's pretty good. You doing one hand. He's like, yeah, and he told me what happened. And then I told him, like, I used to build Legos when I was a kid. It was cool. And then he like pointed to, like, cause they had like a cardboard version of their factory. I think it's like 1/4 of the actual size of the factory.
Mm-hmm.
Which I read that's the scale, but I feel like the factory's probably bigger unless it's really that small. But and then he like pointed to the window that he would sit in when he was a kid building light. It was cool. So that was a really genuine conversation. So he was probably, I don't know. I think that was probably like a stuck out moment when it comes to meeting people.
Did you build Legos with him? Did you help him do it?
I was going to, but
You should have. That would have been an awesome picture.
He was pretty devoted to do that himself. Okay. But yeah, I mean, meeting people, it was, and then seeing people that you've seen, like I bumped into Lorenzo multiple times, like obviously Rocky. I had a good time with Rocky. I visited him at the booth, and he's seen me. Like, I met him. Like, well, I haven't met him 3 times, but I've had conversations in person with him numerous times now. So it's kind of like seeing an old friend at this point with him. So. But I mean, everyone you met, you felt like you just knew forever. Even if your first time meeting anyone, it's just that's the way everyone in the industry is. Like, it's just you feel like you're not just meeting them. It's like you're just talking like normal people.
Family.
Yeah, so it was unique in that sense.
How did things go? Was it a smooth show?
Yeah, Kurt had a really good spot. He was on the
Booth 70, right?
yep. He was on the main like drag, and then he was between Ashton and the Fuente Newman booth.
Nice.
So you got a lot of foot traffic. I'm trying to think what else was there. There was like this Cigar Racist was across from us, and then behind us was a couple boutiques. But no, he had a really good spot, and we had a lot of people coming to the booth just because we were there, and a lot of people have heard of the brand before, and then a lot of people I think a lot of the new accounts that we opened were stores that are shopping strictly boutique, which, you know, I didn't really say much, but a lot of, you know, 724 is not necessarily boutique. It's been around for a while, and Kurt's built like a big brand. So, I mean, you can still consider it boutique, but it's not like a brand new, you know, like what you would think a boutique line would be. But there was a lot of boutique shoppers because I think I forget what they called it. There's a name for the area, but it's the first year the PCA did it. But it's like this big section where it's basically like you buy a big booth and you divide it up into these little squares, and everyone has the same little square, and it's a boutique mall basically. So all these small brands buy these little cubes, so it's more affordable for the new brands to kind of get out there.
Okay.
So I think that brought a lot of interest to, I won't even just say boutique, because I don't really, 724 I wouldn't consider boutique, but I guess outside of the legacy brands, there's a lot of interest. So a lot of people were shopping outside of the Fuente booth, and, you know, like the typical names you would see in the humidor traditionally. And then the pipe tobacco, I think, did very well. A lot of people, like day one, I think the first handful of sales we did were the pipe tobacco.
Really? You mean 724?
Yeah, our pipe tobacco. It sold really well. It was kind of an eye, because, you know, everyone's like, what's new? And since we're gearing up for next year for the 150th,
Right.
we didn't have anything cigar-wise exhibiting that's new, but the pipe tobacco was new, so that was what we were kind of steering people at, and a lot of people bought it, you know. So and a lot of people had similar stories of like what we have here with their retail locations about the pipe business kind of blowing up a little bit. So
That's good to hear.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How busy was the 724 booth? Did you stay busy the whole time?
yeah, it was good foot traffic. Like typically, you know, it was spread out enough to where Kurt and I could actually take a lot of time with who we were working with and kind of build that relationship with them. And then by the time that conversation would end, there'd be somebody else strolling in. So it was very
pace.
very steady. Yeah.
That's awesome. Was Kurt happy with how things went?
Yeah.
Did you have any fun times with Kurt while you were there?
Yeah, I mean, we just you know, it's the funny thing about it is it's kind of like you're working the whole time. I mean,
Yeah. It's not a vacation.
yeah, after we got done on the floor, you know, we had dinners we had to go to, and it's kind of, I mean, it's fun, but it's like you're with an account. Like, well, in our case, it was we went out with Rocky, went out with Kaz, and then the other nights that we didn't have scheduled dinners, we were going to, like, one of the things was we went to Nesta Miranda's 80th. So that was probably the only like party thing that we did. But even then, like, you bump into people that Kurt, you know, does business with or has good relationships with. So you're really kind of just
On all the
talking to everyone. Yeah.
Talking business all the time.
Yeah.
Now that we've had some time to get into the cigar here, what's first thoughts on the Crux Epicure Habano Toro? Dave.
No.
Yes.
No, not yet.
Yeah, Dave, you're first.
No, you can go first, Jim.
I'll go first.
Okay.
This is absolutely dreadful. Sorry, that was trying to be that guy Simon on America's Got Talent. But no, it's a good cigar. I mean, it's smooth, medium. It's got a nice pepper note in there, earthy, rich. It's got some really nice richness going on. Some earth in there, obviously. Get some tobacco notes. I don't know why. But yeah, it's good. It's going really good with the tequila. I didn't think that it was gonna go
Yeah.
good with the tequila. I thought that tequila was gonna be, was gonna overshadow the cigar, but it's actually because it's so smooth and delicious. It goes really well with the cigar.
I think it's bringing out a little sweetness. In
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say that.
a little
that
bit.
sounds-
yeah,
little
little
bit.
sweetness, but yeah, earthy, smooth, creamy. That little bit of pepper. I agree with all that.
Mhm.
Pat.
To me, it's like your like typical reliable Habano. So without I won't go through like so it's typical Habano profile, but the uniqueness in this is it adds to me like it's since it's a Nicaraguan Habano, you're getting a lot more of that spice, and usually in Habano with me I get like a like a white pepper. It's kind of a soft spice, but this one's more of a black pepper, again from that Nicaraguan tobacco. And then a lot of Plasencia grown tobacco, especially Nicaraguan, has like a redwood.
He said the P word.
Well, I mean, Plasencia makes it for them.
I know.
So they a lot of their tobacco has a redwood, which I don't know if it's from the aging rooms that they sit the cigars in. I'm not sure where it comes from, but this one has that. Like if you smoke an Alma Forte, I mean it's more apparent in that cigar, but you have like a really distinct redwood. But this one here, instead of getting like your typical dark oak I would get in a Nicaraguan blend, I'm getting more of that redwood.
Yeah, it's very the cigar. Now that you said that, for me, it's very similar to the Eduardo Plasencia. Not as rich, obviously.
Yeah,
but
it's not the same cigar, but there's a lot of parallels.
Right. Just like Star Trek. It's always a lot.
Do you have enough adjectives to describe things now, Dave?
Come on, baby.
Well, I do think it's very creamy. I like the pepper that's in the background. I definitely agree with you with the tequila, bringing out the sweetness of the wood note to me. It is very creamy. It's burning freaking fantastically.
Yeah,
made by
obviously because
Plasencia.
it's made by Plasencia.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is like a really good. I want to keep this in my rotation. This is just something I could see going really well with coffee, going really well
Yes,
with
it
the
would
bourbon.
go really well with
It
coffee.
obviously
and
goes
bourbon.
really well with tequila. This is just a great, well balanced smoke.
Yeah.
What
for
do you
sure.
like? What do you like most about it so far, Dave?
I like the pepper level. That's most attractive. I love how it's consistently there, and the retro hail is sufficient enough to keep me interested. I like it.
Sufficient enough.
Just enough.
Just enough.
Just to keep them.
Because you don't want to.
Keep 'em
An
in
everyday
the
cigar,
zone.
you can't have something that's just like like a
What? Pepper bomb?
yeah, like a
Why not?
knuckle dragger or something like that. Like that, I could smoke that every once in a while. I'm speaking
Why
for
not?
myself.
Why not?
It's
It's a great cigar.
it is a great cigar, but I'm not going to smoke it every single day
Why not?
because I don't know. I don't know. No, I can't.
Look at this guy, huh?
I used to, but now my palate is actually, as I'm getting more
Older.
I was gonna say that.
older and experienced with cigars, I actually find myself going more and more towards milder and milder cigars. And I'll still enjoy like a stronger cigar, but I won't smoke them as much.
I don't know. I
Have you
can't.
experienced that,
there's-
Nick?
No.
Do you think that has something to do with like your 40s? Maybe you just
Well,
need
I'm
something.
38, so I mean,
Yeah.
I still,
Well,
still
you
nothing
used to smoke
beats.
diggers, and you used to smoke.
True.
And now don't you?
Yep.
Now
No.
you enjoy Atabays. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
I mean, who doesn't enjoy a good Atabay once
Me.
in a while?
It's
I
too
mean,
mild for me still.
Atabays are nice. I mean, I prefer the Byrons. They have a little bit more body. I mean, the Habaneros is my absolute favorite. That is just
That's a
butter.
fantastic cigar.
That is just butter in your mouth right there. That's like, ooh, that's like butter on toast in the morning, baby. But for me, nothing beats a Maduro at 7:30 in the morning while you're watching the sun come up in your backyard and you're just hanging out. I mean, sorry. That, for me, nice Maduro just kicks off your day.
Well, the
It's beautiful.
first cigar of my day is Connecticut Broadleaf.
Yeah?
Yeah, La Roma de Cuba Robusto, baby.
It's a good smoke.
Love it.
It's a good smoke.
Pat, do you have a favorite first cigar of the day?
Changes.
Changes.
I think
Oh,
Do you typically? Let's change it up. do you typically go for something more on the stronger side or more on the milder side?
I usually go with like a mild to medium, so I don't torch my palate in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Is
So,
there such thing?
yeah?
It
Like,
depends.
like
Some
Tattoo
people- some
Hey,
people-
Knuckle dragger boy.
Some people, some people, the thing with the morning smoke is to keep your palate good and keep it ready throughout the day. For other people, it's to set the nicotine level that you can have. And
Gotta set the bar high.
For me, I set it high,
I do
so
too.
it's a good strong coffee and a bowl of dark bird's eye or a knuckle dragger or something along that sort.
I've been having Aladino Maduros in the morning.
That's a great
mean,
cigar. I love that.
Jesus,
cigar.
Mary, and Joseph. That the San Andreas wrapper just it goes so well with a protein shake or some pre-workout. It's absolutely delightful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
true.
I'm
It's
really
very
in love
true.
with their Connecticut's.
I mean, they did a damn good job with their Connecticut's.
That Queens is
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, that's beautiful. The classic. I mean, we got the classic downstairs.
The
That
Aladino
classic is
Classic
beautiful.
Is awesome. I love it.
That's a good smoke right there, man.
Yep.
Love smoking that.
Did you get a chance to look around the floor, Pat, and visit different places, or were you basically at the 724 booth?
I got some opportunity to kind of go around. I didn't see the entire floor, but I saw probably half of it.
What stood out to you? Did you see anything that was like, wow?
Like booth wise or product wise?
Both. Let's say both.
I liked Foundation's booth. He has that.
Was it all like Egyptian, like? Or...
No, it's like I think it was all made in Nicaragua. It's like that kind of like weird. I'm not gonna call it weird, but it's like a strange kind of like Nicaraguan culture and like reggae vibe. I like their booth, and then obviously like I was right next to the Fuente booth, and it's kind of cool they have it set up. It's one of those things where it's like
Theirs is usually very eye-catching.
it is, but when I was walking through it, I was just kind of like it. To me, it was good, but there's so much stuff everywhere. It's like you almost like, what am I looking at now? Kind
It's
of
too
thing.
much.
Yeah, I think there's
over the top.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess they don't really have to display their stuff openly because people are going there to buy. You know, you don't really have to sell.
Did they have a
Fuente.
box of the unattainable there that you could look at?
The unattainable.
You mean the which one's that?
Unattainable, unaffordable.
Oh well, yeah, well, they had a box. They had like
I think it's
cigar
called the
was that?
Fuente Unattainable
That's what
collection.
Oh,
Really?
is that the Impossible 13 box?
The Impossible.
Yeah, that was there. Yep, that was there.
Excuse me, the Impossible box.
Yeah, that was there,
that's,
and
a,
then
that's a thing.
$2,600
yeah,
for 13 cigars.
it's all Fuentes that they don't.
I
It's
mean,
stuff they don't sell.
and they're selling it, or
Yeah.
There's 500 boxes of the 13. Obviously stuff they've sold in the past, but
Yeah,
they
they
still
stopped.
make, but
Yep.
they don't sell it.
Like there's a PJ
So there's
in there,
no-
and Toy Maker, like yeah, it's all the like Don Carlos Lancero, the 25th
Wow.
anniversary opus. It's like all this stuff that
Super
they
rare stuff.
yeah, like you can't get them.
wow. Did Kurt put in an order for those?
Maybe,
yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, there was a lot of stuff, and then
For
you had like
himself.
that like that
Yeah.
multi-million-dollar ashtray that was I forget what the brand
Did you
is.
say it was $1 million ashtray?
Multi-million-dollar ashtray.
Oh boy,
Why would you even use it?
this is an ashtray, pure gold.
So yeah, I mean, there was definitely some cool booths, and then product-wise, I mean, I think it's my first PCA, but I mean, I've been working here for 3 years, so we've smoked stuff that's come from PCA, and out of the stuff that I was able to try when I was there, with stuff comparing it to like what I've had that's released from PCA in the past, like I think this is a really really good trade show. Like
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Was there anything new that stood out that you were like, oh wow, this is gonna be awesome?
there was so many good cigars, and there's a lot of cigars that were showcased that you couldn't actually smoke because they didn't have samples of them. But everything Saka's making is gonna be good. Like I smoked.
Yeah, I read about that. That looked really good. I was really impressed with the stuff he's coming out.
I smoked the Red Meat Lovers, and I got it expecting it to not be that good because I buy like the limited bundles he does every year. So now that he's mass producing it, I thought it was gonna go down, and it was probably one of the better cigars I smoked this year. And then Papa Saka, which is the new Saka con with a
Right.
so that was really
Further
good.
Mm.
So Saka's gonna have a good year. I didn't have any of the unicorns, obviously, because
Unicorns.
yeah, but he did some really good stuff. The Tatuaje 25th is really good. Is it 20 or 25th? I think 25th. That was really good. Which I think it's just a regular brown label, just a unique size, and maybe they different primings of it. And then a brand that I had the opportunity to smoke that I haven't had yet was Gran Habano. They had a 20 anniversary cigar, or 10 anniversary cigar. Whatever the recent anniversary is, that was really good. No, I mean, there's a lot of good cigars that are out this year, and I mean, now that I'm sitting here trying to think about them, I really can't tell you many.
Well,
of
you
them.
must have smoked a ton of cigars when you were there.
Yeah, so it's there's definitely a lot of good stuff coming.
Did you see any? Did you see any accessories that really kind of turned you on while you were there?
Everyone was talking about that cutter Saka made. It's like I forget who he even made it with, but he made a cigar cutter that he's not selling. It's like I think he might gift it to accounts of his, but you couldn't sell it. And everyone was talking about this cutter.
What did it look like? A regular cutter, a DuPont
If you go on
cutter?
half wheel, it's like a regular guillotine, but it's like made ergonomically, and you can just take the blade out to replace it with a new blade. It's
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking.
interesting.
then obviously the Fuente Padron collab, which there wasn't really any new news on that.
Yeah.
And then Pete and Pepin are doing a collab as well. I think
The PP.
yeah. Tatuaje blended something for my father, and then my father blended for Tat. So that was showcased. Another cool thing was that Anarchy NFT that Pete's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Comes with like a DuPont Anarchy Tatuaje lighter. And then the humidor was actually pretty cool looking. It was like this kind of triangular thing. And then, so that was cool. I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff, you know, and just in passing, you look at it. So it's, you know, I don't know too much about everything that I saw, but there was a lot of good stuff.
We have a comment from Kaz.
Yeah.
Kaz, what's up?
He wants to know when you became a Sith Lord.
Overnight. Overnight.
After I went to Cleavers. And then I'm pretty proud of myself. I picked out the autograph pipes from Kaz, and I think I did a pretty damn
You
good
did
job.
a very good job, Pat. I was very pleased with the pipes. They were
yeah.
pretty good. And I can't remember why. I had somewhere to go when you were going to be trying to video me in on picking those out. I can't remember where it was. I had to be. But you did a good job. You did a very good job. What are your big takeaways? Do you want to go back? All the reps say they don't ever want to go back. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to go. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say. I mean, I think like when it comes to the reps end of it, it is like a long week, but maybe it's because I'm just young. Kind of, it's my first time there. Like I didn't necessarily even want to leave. I don't know. It's just cool having all those people around. You know.
Did you ask Kurt if you could stay?
But
We're leaving? What?
yeah, I would love to go back. Yeah, it was a good environment.
How did
How
you
was the flight in and out? And no problems or anything like that? Was it cool?
The flight in was good. Flight out, we had like a 2-hour delay on a
Oh.
red eye, so that was a little bit. And then the worst part is they packed the plane before the delay, so we were stuck in the plane. And it was like 100 and I think it was 115 degrees or something. That's why it was delayed, because of the heat, and the usual runway that they used was under construction, so it was like a shorter runway, and the heat impacts takeoff, I guess. I don't know how. I'm sure there's some scientific thing for that, but so we were delayed for, and then I think 6 people ended up booting out of the plane because they didn't want to wait, and then I guess that the weight difference was enough for us to go off. So survival of the fittest, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you. Bye. That's awesome.
So, believe it or not, we're already halfway through the show here.
Yay!
The burn here is spot
Perfect.
on. Perfect.
It's pretty damn
Percent, yeah,
good.
perfect.
It's been
Yeah.
very, very good.
It's been burning very slowly,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm usually about halfway done by this point
right?
with whatever we're doing. And
That makes the value of the cigar to me go up when it burns. When a cigar burns like a long time,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
so what's your all take on the Crux Epicure Habano?
This is definitely going to be in my daily rotation. This is very good, and I like it. I like the pepper. I like the smoothness. I like the woody notes that I'm getting.
I'm so impressed with the construction. I mean, and
It is spectacular.
that's oily, silky wrapper just
Oh,
looks
yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
It feels gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Tastes gorgeous.
You can taste gorgeous.
Tastes gorgeous.
Pat,
Taste
now that you've
gorgeous.
stroked your cigar,
just
what's
taste
your final
gorgeous.
thoughts on it?
It's a good Habano. It's one of the if you're a Habano smoker, I can see this being something that people kind of put in their rotation.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, man.
For sure.
And Nick,
Go team.
How much is this bad Larry downstairs?
I want to
Is
say
it
it's
13?
$13.50.
Mm.
So it's right there. It's basically a standard.
Yeah, I
Standard
mean that's
cost
like
for a
your,
Toro these
you know what I
days.
mean. That's like your nowadays that's like your standard run of the mill
Good
price,
cigar price.
good cigar price. It's no longer $10, $11.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that 13, I mean, definitely, is how I look at it is, all right, this thing is a great cigar. At $13, what else can I match that with, or what else is gonna beat in the humidor? And I mean, for $13, it's right up there with most of the $13 cigars that we have in there. You know what I mean? So it's definitely gonna be, well, it definitely is in my rotation. But yeah, I like everything about it. The complexity, subtle, the pepper note. It's got, with the tequila, it's getting a little bit more, a little of that sweetness in there. Earthy notes. It's a really well balanced, really well rounded cigar, man.
Yeah. Yep. Very good. All right. Are we ready to move on to the pipe then?
I suppose.
All right. Well, here we go.
And away we go.
And what we are doing for the pipe tobacco here is this year's release of Sun Bear, one of the most
I
popular,
have it.
one of the most popular small batch releases by Cornell Diehl. Well, here we go.
Oh, baby.
This is the fourth round of Sun Bear that they've released. Sun Bear Tupalo is what it's called. Let me read you what it says off of the tin. A blend of the finest bright and red Virginias balanced by 2019 Basma and 2018 Izmir Orientals. Sun Bear Tupelo commends itself with subtle notes of raw, ethically sourced Tupelo honey from the ancient wetlands of northern Florida. Produced from the nectar of the white Ojichi Tupelo tree during a short 2-week bloom. Tupelo honey is among the rarest in the world, and its unique profile combines with a whisper of silver tequila and elderflower to complement the fruity and floral notes of specially selected tobaccos, elevating their refreshing character and providing a creamy, rounded finish. Made by C&D, of course. It's a flake tobacco here, and this is a favorite summer release, like I said. What was the size of the run this year? What does it say on the tin?
20,000.
20,000 tins.
20K.
That's also the biggest run of Sun Bear I think they've done.
Yeah, everything was under that.
Yep. So we've all smoked all three former
Yes.
blends here on the show. This blend, tobacco-wise, and the tequila and elderflower they put in it, that's the same every time they make it. The only thing that changes from year to year is the honey. The source of the honey changes, and that honey changes everything about the blend.
That's damn
when we
good.
have it.
It's so good.
So one of the reasons I chose the Herradura here was knowing that, this was topped with a little bit of tequila. I figured the tequila would really pair well with the pipe tobacco as well as the cigar. And I need to light up my pipe. You want to say what you're getting?
Herradura.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the Herradura really.
Herradura.
Herder. The herder has a little bit of a honey thing to it, and that really helps. Really pairs well with the pipe tobacco.
I agree.
And it's got this. I got this nice, kind of like a sweet spice. It's very creamy. It's very smooth and delicate,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to see how it develops.
But it's complex, and then you definitely get that elderflower in the mix there too. It's beautiful. One of the best ones. Well, I'd definitely say it's one of the best Sun Bears I've had out of the four.
I think
I like. Don't get me wrong. An aged first edition is spectacular, but this is just it's so good, man.
this is really good right out of the tin. Yeah. And now that you mention it, I do think I pick up more of those elderflower notes than I have in previous ones. There seems to be a deeper kind of earthiness to this that wasn't in the previous ones either.
Right.
Are you guys agreeing with that too?
I am.
This just became available
At
today.
6 o'clock tonight.
6 o'clock, the day we did this podcast on the 25th, is when it opened up to the market. So we're one of the first people to have it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good, man.
feel
Damn,
like-
C&D, they make some really good tobacco, man. I'm sorry, dude.
This is one of the awesome things. You were talking, Pat, about the pipe tobacco that 724 has done is kind of almost like a line extension for the cigar line, 724. 724 Briary blends. That's, the same guy who does this. Jeremy Reeves blended all of our tobaccos for that series. We now have 5 blends out, 2 of which just
came
landed
out.
here. Little Gold Dust, which is a dark-fired Kentucky blend, and 603 Roast, which is a coffee blend,
Coffee aromatic. Yep.
coffee aromatic. And so you add that to the Virginia Perique of Queen City and the English Flake of Dexter Secret and the Burley Blend Boston Tea Party. You've got a great, and all of them are awesome.
Yeah, they're really good.
And, I know they're ours, but they're awesome. They're really good. I mean, it's not hard to recommend them to anybody at all.
No.
People who try and love them.
And it's a great spread between the different types of tobaccos that are available.
Yeah.
It's a
do.
well-rounded
Between
group.
all 5, there's something for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I can't wait to, now that you said that Gold Dust, I can't wait to get in. I love 4th Gen's Fire Cure Kentucky. That's like my favorite 4th Gen. I mean, all the other ones are great too, but the Fire Cure Kentucky from 4th Gen, that's my favorite. It's just so good, so much body, so much going on with it. So I can't wait to sink my pipe into.
Yeah. I've had several bowls so far of the Little Gold Dust.
Yeah.
It's I think that and Queen City are my favorites. Palette wise, those are the ones that I think I'll probably go to the most. My wife is going to really appreciate the 603 roast. So are my girls probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you can smoke that whenever you want now.
Sure, honey.
Yeah, that's a chick magnet blend.
There you go.
You gotta have one of those.
Gotta have it.
Yep. Yep. You get your pipe lit there? What are you picking up?
Yeah, I'd say
Some tobacco notes.
definitely
Little phlegm.
a lot more earth and wood than the third edition we smoked last year. Well, I guess I think we smoked all three of them last year at some point, right?
I think you're right. I think at one point we did all three
Comparison.
side by side. That was a whole episode,
Wow.
a pipe episode.
Interesting.
Episode, yep.
The pipe-isode.
Yes, sir.
So I'd say out of this release, I think I actually get the honey the least on
Yeah.
the fourth release than the other. But on the aroma from the nose, you're getting the honey.
I feel like the tequila really bumps up the floral notes for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I need
I
to
agree.
try it with a little bit of the tequila here.
A little bit of tequila.
A little bit harder.
A little harder.
Oh, yeah.
We're so good, man. I
The
mean,
tequila really does pair with this.
it does, absolutely. I mean, I think the pipe tobacco pairs a little bit better with the tequila than the cigar did. And the cigar is really great. I mean, they both complemented each other, but this just being a little bit more flavorful, there's a little bit more complexity there with the honey. It's going really, really well with that tequila. Really nice.
Yeah, I'd have to say out of the pairings, they were made for each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's got tequila in it. I mean, it's
I would
beautiful.
hope it would pair if it's got tequila.
Right.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man.
Makes me want to sing that Kiss song.
Yeah.
What
I do
Kiss
agree
song?
with Pat though that
I was made for
of
loving you.
of all the blends here, this is I appreciate on my palate the honey the least.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not picking up a lot of honey.
I'm picking up a good amount.
Are you?
I am.
I feel like I am, but only after I take some of the tequila.
Yeah, I think the tequila is bringing a little bit more of the honey out.
Let's see what Pat says. He's
You're-
got the palate from Zeus.
Ooh. From Zeus or from Apollo?
I'm gonna call him Zeus.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus Jr. Junior.
Well, he's doing that.
God.
Let me ask you guys. Let me talk about
horrible.
something here.
Go.
I had a discussion today.
Uh-oh.
With the
And-
customer?
Well, I might as well spell the whole thing out.
Go.
So, this morning, Dave came to the store to pick up the new pipe tobaccos to take to Hooksett location. It's all set. He, gets his stuff, shows me what he's getting, threw it in the bag, and left. Good boy. And then I start looking around for my little Go Dust tin. And I'm like, where is it? It's not my bag. It's not the desk. Did I put it out there? No. I call Dave. Did you take my Gold Dust tin with you?
Let me check.
And he says, let me check. And yes, he did. He had it in his bag. So he took everything on my desk, including my own tobacco, put it into his bag. So we're texting back and forth. And when he said, I have it, I texted him a GIF of
Of what?
Oh, boy, it was the best response ever. Like, I couldn't even be mad because it was perfect. It was,
What
I
was
won't
the
steal
gift?
your thunder. This is good. This is
Go
good.
ahead, tell him.
It was, it was from the boys, and it was that's on Amazon, and it was what the heck? Why can't I remember his name?
Homelander?
Homelander.
And it was
Homelander giving like a death stare.
a dust stare, like when he was just totally defeated by something just.
By
I
Soldier
forget the
Boy?
episode,
Like,
but
it
he was just like,
I'm going to laser beam your face off.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
Very nice.
and
The look of destroyed disappointment and his
yeah,
persona was crushed.
So
And he has such a great way of portraying that in that show.
yeah,
Like
you could tell he just
what a
wanted
great
some,
actor.
just wants some fresh milk.
He's like
So
oh, you gotta watch it to get it.
Hey man, it's
After-
nothing better than fresh milk, baby.
after the
baby.
whole thing was over, Bobby comes in, and I said, Bobby, you got to look at this interchange with me and Dave. And so I show her the interchange, show her the GIF, and she looks at it and goes, yeah. And I'm like, you've seen The Boys, right? No. No. What do you mean no? It's just no. It's totally up your alley. I mean, you know, Bobby, it's totally up her alley.
It would
right?
be.
No,
It would be.
Here's the the question. Now that you've heard the setup,
Yes.
the question is, have you ever talked to somebody about a show, or make it whatever, Pat? Because I know you don't watch TV, or a video game, something where you feel like everybody should know. And you tell it to somebody and they have no idea what you're talking about. Like you need to watch this. You need to play this. You need to do this.
It's like talking to someone who loves anime and they've never seen Akira. It's just like what?
Or Ghost in the Shell.
Or Ghost in
Or
the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you're just like, who? How? What? How? I mean, that's how it was. And that's how it must have been with Bobby, because you're like, this
True.
is like made for you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is so freaking how can you not? But I was just so like, I can't believe she hasn't seen the series. Have you all seen you seen The Boys, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen The Boys.
I've seen The
Yours-
Boys.
Have you seen The Boys?
I don't even know what it is.
Oh my
God.
See,
Oh.
this is it right here. You got to watch The Boys.
Wow.
All right. Let me tell you about the
I mean,
now,
bro, it's so good.
If superheroes were actually douchebags and they were appearing to the public as if they weren't,
Oh, I've
Well, I
seen-
mean-
they were
I've
all
seen
ran
snippets
by
of
I
it.
mean,
corporations.
I mean,
they were run by a corrupt
I wouldn't say
corporation.
douchebags. I mean,
They're pretty much all douchebags.
they're
Some of them turn and are like, you know what? I'm sorry
yeah.
for being a
They-
douchebag.
I wouldn't
but
say douchebag.
Well,
they got like no morals.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they feel like they're gods,
Homelander's
so why should
like
they? That's how.
on
The
a
super-
power trip.
the
and,
superheroes in the thing. They're all knockoffs of like the Justice League.
yeah,
Superman,
technically.
Batman, Wonder Woman,
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Oh, Aquaman.
the deep.
Aquaman.
Oh my God. the
He's
deep.
so weird,
Now-
man.
Now, here's the deal. These guys, imagine that Justice League, all these guys are evil. And you have to stop them.
Yeah.
That's the show. How do you and I stop the Justice League? That's a freaking awesome show, man.
Because it's a bunch of normal people who take out superheroes, and it's
It's
awesome.
very good. It's a very good show. I mean, what are they on
Very
season 4
graphic.
now?
The starting season 4 is
I
coming
mean,
up.
come on, man. It is a
And
good
just
show.
when you think it's gonna end, and it's
Kurt
gonna
Urban or Urban. What's his name?
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. Jeez. good
He
grief.
also-
Carl Urban.
He also played Judge Dredd, which is
Andy Omer in Lord of the Rings.
yes.
yeah. And he also played he was
Spock.
also in not
No,
not
he
Spock.
played Scotty. No, he didn't
No,
play Scotty.
Scotty.
Uh,
He played
Scotty,
McCoy. Dr.
McCoy,
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 Dr.
McCoy,
McCoy, yeah.
McCoy in Star
Which-
Trek. Yeah.
And
I
then
mean-
he also played in with Vin Diesel. He was the in
Riddick.
Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, he was. Oh damn, I forgot the name of it, but he was in there. He was in all 3. No, sorry. Yeah, he was in all 3 movies.
So very, very good.
Carl Urban is a very good actor.
Easy peasy,
Yeah.
Japanesey.
Yep. Oh my
Or his
god.
favorite word we can't even say.
Yeah.
You miserable seas. Yeah. Oh,
It's the frickin' Spice Girls. Oh man. So, you need to watch it, or maybe that's what we do together. We have We have some
movie
bonding
night.
time. We have bonding time watching the boys. The boys watching the boys.
The boys watching the boys.
While we smoke and drink together.
Yeah, and we should set up a camera and record it so we can do the reaction.
Reaction? That'd be a long reaction. That'd be a
Well, we
long
just
review.
show snippets. You know.
Yep. Now, is there anything like that you've had where you couldn't believe somebody hadn't seen it, done it, played it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a request for you to share something, not to nod and say,
Oh,
yeah.
I can't really remember, but I know it's happened.
it's happened me. It's happened with Bobby and me as well. I mean,
Maybe it's music too.
no, not so much music. I mean, I listen to everything. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that
Pat
happened to me.
was.
That happened with me and Teresa. Like she listens to like a lot of the same metal bands that I heard or listened to. Like she's heard of Ozzy Osbourne, like the Greats and stuff like that. You know who she never heard of, and she thought I was just like, oh, that's just a stupid band.
Metallica.
Dio.
I don't know who that is.
What? Wow.
I don't either.
Dio.
I don't know who that is. But I wasn't into Metallica.
Ronnie James Dio.
No, I don't know who that is. Sorry, brother.
Teresa, we're with you.
Wow.
I've never heard.
I don't even know you guys anymore.
Apparently, you don't.
Wow, he sang for
a
Black
song?
Sabbath after Ozzy left. He sang for Dio. He sang in Rainbow.
You're speaking Spanish to me, brother.
Rainbow.
Yeah, that was one of his earlier bands. But I mean, he what's one of the most popular? I mean, you've heard his songs. You've heard Dio.
Can you sing one of his songs?
No, I'm not gonna tell you. Holy Diver.
Oh yeah, the original. I only know
that was Dio.
I only know the one
Holy
by.
Diver.
I only know the one by Kill Switch
that's-
Engage.
Yeah, well, that was a cover of Dio.
Good song. Good song. I love that. I love that song. Holy Diver.
Do you know that song?
No.
No.
Show chat.
It actually does play downstairs.
Yeah.
Because the channel that we have on Pandora goes through all those channels and that comes on. So, but I usually listen to it on my Kill Switch Engage channel on Pandora and that comes on. That was one of the
That's
first
a great
songs.
cover of it, really.
Yeah, I mean that was the first song that I've heard from Kill Switch Engage that got me hooked.
Like that movie with Jack Black.
Which one? Does you
That movie with
that-
Jack
I
Black.
mean,
And
that narrows it down to
Hard
like
Rock?
50.
not Hard
No.
Rock. No, it was like the Pick of Destiny or something like that. And it was
The
showing
Pick of
him
Destiny?
like when he was a kid growing up, and he had a picture of Ronnie James Dio on his wall, and he was the guy who talked to him into like becoming a musician.
Oh.
Like I mean, Dio is huge in the rock and roll. Huge. I mean, like Ozzy Osbourne, huge. Like that's how common his name is. Like if you know who Ozzy Osbourne is, it's like assume that you also know who Dio is. Because they're the same. I mean, he took over his band, Black Sabbath, after Ozzy left. You know what I mean? So
Did not know that. Little music industry history lesson there, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Anything you want to add to that?
No.
it's funny that
I've
we
had-
just had
I've
that
had-
moment.
Yeah, I've had experiences like that, but I mean, I can't recall any of them, unfortunately.
Pat, have you ever had anything like that?
I'm sure it's happened, but I also can't recall.
I think we should all agree right now to have a boys' night.
We should.
I mean, I'm down, man. Let's do it.
We should.
Are you in, Pat? Are you in for boys' night?
Tentative.
So we gotta do season 1. So we guess
Yeah.
season 1, and we'll run 2 episodes because they're an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll run 2 episodes so you can get the premise, and then you can go from there. Whether we do another boys'
We
night,
should do it at Hookset after we close. That'll make it real easy.
we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because then we could smoke.
We could smoke, and we can have a drink, and we can watch the boys,
Mm-hmm.
and the boys can watch the boys.
The boys can watch the boys.
How about it? How about it, Pat?
Tentative.
It's tentative.
Easy peasy, Japanesey.
Easy peasy.
You're miserable.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. All right.
724 moment.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me get back to where that is here. This is the time of the show where we are going to do the 724 Flashback, a weekly segment highlighting historical events brought to you by 724 Cigars. Smoke a piece of history. And today's little piece of history is today is the birthday of Louise Brown.
Who's that?
I'm glad that you asked. Louise Brown was the very first test tube baby born on the planet.
Wow.
Interesting.
On this day in 1978, she was born via C-section from her mother. She was the very first in vitro fertilization successfully done. And her birth following the procedure was lauded to be among the most remarkable breakthroughs of the 20th century. That
Yeah.
happened today,
Well, that was awesome.
How many years ago was it?
78.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
78.
Now,
Right after Star Wars.
Yeah.
77.
Superman.
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeve.
The greatest Superman ever to walk this earth. In my humble opinion, of course. I mean, Henry
I
Cavill
can't-
was damn good, and then now he's not Superman anymore, which is a fucking shame.
What?
You heard me.
He's
No, it is. I'm just.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. So, I have something to share with you guys.
Oh.
So, back in my old podcast days, on
My old podcast.
my old podcast,
Like a couple years ago.
a few years back, I had a friend of mine. Her name is Michelle Stiles, and she did a segment on that podcast for us called Miles with Styles. And Michelle is a model and a professional surfer, and she was going all over the world, either for modeling shoots or for surfing competitions. And wherever she went in the world, she would record a segment of highlighting where she was staying, the restaurants that she went to, and if there was a cigar shop in the area, she would go and visit it and report on the cigar shop. And that way you kind of got this little picture of, where cigar shops and cool places to eat and cool places to stay around the world were. And it was always a good time. Well, I've obviously been here for the last 4 years. And we found out recently, kind of haphazardly, that some of her stuff is still being used by that podcast in commercials that they run.
Really?
Yeah. And so when I found out about that, I said, well, if they're still using it, we need to do something about that. We need to revive, having you on the podcast. And to my absolute surprise, she said, well, let's do something.
Sweet. Sure.
So we came up with several different ideas, and she's in the middle of recording stuff for us, and she's got she's got a really big backstory that I'm not going to go into, but suffice it to say that she's very successful at what she does. She's got a huge following on Twitter. She's got some 8,000 followers
Awesome.
on Twitter, and she's already started posting for us. And as a matter of fact, we have the picture there. The first thing that she threw up for us today.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, I want to see Nick's face when it comes.
I'm already looking at it right now. That's,
She's frisky.
I suppose. My goodness. Pat, you see that?
No.
My.
So
I can't now.
that's
I'll put it on.
that's pretty
That's cool, man.
tame.
That's pretty tame.
Yeah, for Michelle, that's pretty tame.
My.
But you can imagine with advertising like that, we've already gotten a few people saying, "Hey, I'll follow that podcast." Let's see.
What did it say?
Anyway, she is recording several different things that can be used as an audio for us. And cool little fact here: Michelle is deaf. Now, when you hear these audios, you're not going to think she's deaf. But one of the reasons to do these things is it helps her improve her talking.
Yeah.
So it's good for her. It's good for us. It's good exposure. It's like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of a thing.
Sounds
And
good.
so there are these 5 different things that she's going to do. And we should have them by next week.
Wait.
Okay. And one of them is, and this is something that she would do like on a regular basis. So like probably every week or at least several times a month. One is she would throw out a topic for us to discuss.
Ooh.
So she would pick something and dare us to talk about it. The other thing is that she would share a bad joke.
Thank
And we
you.
can talk about that bad joke. Bad pickup lines that she's heard.
Oh.
I've heard some of her bad pickup lines. I can't even believe men say these things and think that they're going to work.
Oh boy.
You know, there are bad pickup lines, and then there are bad pickup lines. These are bad pickup lines. You know, she's also a history buff. So
Ooh.
one of the things that we might do is she might actually do the 724 flashback,
Nice.
Very nice.
which would be cool. And then the 5th one, which right now I'm going to come out and say is my favorite, is Bitchin' with Styles,
I like it. I like it.
where she shares her frustrations as a surfer and a model and travel and all that stuff. And we can kind of laugh along and use that as something to talk about. Also.
Yeah.
Of those 5 things, what stands out to you?
All the above? I mean, they all sound awesome. I think the one I'd love to hear the bad pickup lines. Those got to be good. And absolutely ridiculous at the same time. Yeah. That'd probably stand out. That's got to be fun right there. Or just a regular topic that we can discuss and kind of get into the nitty-gritty and our personal opinions on different things. I think that'll kind of bring everything full circle, I suppose, in this podcast a little bit. In my humble opinion, of course.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's going to be pretty fun.
It will be.
You're all. Pat?
Yeah. All sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, they all sound really good. It's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just do
Like,
all of them.
here's one of the latest pickup lines that you got
What do you got?
from a camera guy doing at a modeling shoot. You're not the prettiest girl I've ever met, but I'd do you anyway. So you want to go home with me?
Wow. Straight to the point.
Wow.
Jesus.
It's
That's
like
pretty bad.
I can't even believe it.
Oh, it's another
I
one.
can't even believe that.
I could. I could believe that.
Oh my.
Some people are just fucking.
Yep. Yep. I'm trying to look for another one here. Let's see. What do you all think of the tobacco right now?
It's still very creamy. I think the earthy and the spice that's in there is really picked up. I'm liking it a lot. It's really good. I don't know if it's going to be my favorite but we'll see how it is in a year or so.
I'm curious to see what age will do to this thing. I mean, it's already good. I mean, getting in another year or two, or even just another 6 or 7 months, man, it's gonna be interesting because this already tastes like it's aged, and it's so good, just how it is. Having more age on this thing, is it gonna amplify the taste on the palate, or is it gonna calm everything down? Don't know.
I'm getting more of the honey as the bowl goes down. It's sweetening up on its own as it goes down. That's interesting. Pat, what about you?
I think it was good. Definitely, I think out of the four, not my favorite one, but I agree with Nick. I think age would definitely bring out a lot more. So I'm excited if we revisit this maybe next year when the 5th edition of Sun Bear comes out.
Yeah.
That'd be good to do.
She how the two compare.
All right. Well, that is our show tonight. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock.
Oh, see you next
Right
Tuesday.
here.
Stay smoky, my
And
friends.
that's not just blowing smoke. Bye.